What's up, everyone? Welcome to the 439th episode of the Pokemon Podcast. It's super effective. I'm your host, SBJ. With me is Greg.
Hello, I am here. There is a tragedy in our house. Brent is hate watching MasterChef Canada, and it is the worst show. I am no longer going downstairs in my house. If I hear it, I refuse to go down there and be subjected to that. Canada, how did you mess this up so bad?
Will, also here.
I have no shame. I cheat at Pokemon GO.
Yeah, we're going to bring that up later, cheater.
Bring it up now, bring it up later, just like the candy.
Now or later?
Yeah. Now and laters.
Now and laters. Now and or laters?
Do they still make that candy?
Of course
bad.
They do.
I don't know if they still make it. More so, they still just have it in stock from like 20 years ago.
Yeah, because it'll never sell out.
I mean, here's the sad thing. It is now listed as old-time candy on oldtimecandy.com.
Oh, dear.
I mean, it was only 1962.
That's pretty old-time, dude.
Old-time candy. Old-time candy is from the 20s and the aughts of the 1900s.
Do you mean like ribbon candy? Ribbon
Yeah.
candy, because that sounds delicious.
The stuff that my grandmother had.
December Community Day this weekend. I think the three of us did the first part the best we could have.
Yeah, by cheating.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh.
cheater. Explain to the world how you're cheating. Will.
I took my Pokeball Plus, and then I have those like plastic ties, like zip ties, I think is what they're called. And I wrapped my Pokeball Plus up in a zip tie so that the button is constantly down. Started up an incense, got on my bike, rode around town, caught 200 Pokemon in one day. I'm going to get that level 40 hat, Minish cap. I don't know what they're giving me. But I'm going to get it because I did the thing.
I don't have the scientific research behind the Pokeball Plus, but I thought it like auto shuts off after like 30 minutes regardless
An
of...
hour. And
Okay.
then you slide the plastic zip tie off, reconnect it to your game, slide the plastic zip tie back on, and start biking around town again.
I'm glad we have the science here.
I'm giving you all the hot cheat codes.
Cheat.
To be
Cheat
fair,
code.
I don't really think that's cheating. It's like...
Well, yeah,
buying
but a lot of things that you don't think are cheating are actually cheating.
That's not true.
Well, it's 100% true. You're a known cheater.
Who's a known cheater?
You.
I don't cheat at anything in life.
Oh, please.
I have
what a
been
cheater would
cheated in
say.
life when I bought $100 worth of cheated out of Pokemon cards.
Where did you buy those
I
from?
bought them from Meyer.
Well,
Aha.
there's your mistake.
There should have been a red flag when they had 3 boxes of Champion's Path and literally not even a single pack of Crimson Invasion. That should have been the red.
That was your red flag. You just weren't paying attention to the entire situation.
We'll have a whole video about that on YouTube this week.
Did you open them on stream, or was this sorrow private?
No. I don't think there's been a Pokemon pack of cards I've opened off stream this whole year.
So everybody got to see the devastation.
Yeah, you get to see the I'm clearly being scammed here face in real time.
So wait, the foil was sealed.
Yeah.
And yet you cracked those packs, as the kids like to say, and the goodies inside were incomplete.
There was no code cards. The energies were in the wrong place. There were no rares.
The energies were in the wrong place.
I mean, come on, amateur hour over here.
Oh, man.
Some packs didn't even have the replacement card. They just had 9 cards instead of 10.
But how? How is this done?
I don't...
Since I am entering into the world of cheating, I need instruction on how this is accomplished.
I don't think that our podcast should be the podcast of how to reseal booster packs.
But I mean, okay, I didn't realize that it's actually possible to reseal booster packs. I didn't know that technology existed.
Yeah.
Do you think this is an inside job, or was somebody hanging out in the aisle doing this and nobody's paying attention.
No, I think no. This is clearly they bought it, they took it home. There was no rush. They did their dirty work of looking for the $1,000 Charizard. They resealed them and then returned them to Meijer. I don't think there was anything done in store unless somebody's carrying glue and an iron in their pockets.
I mean, all those things are at Meijer, are they not?
True.
You don't have to go far.
We're not ruling out an inside job.
Maybe like it was an employee?
Yeah.
No, it looked to me as... So the reason that like the red flag kind of went up after the fact was, again, their entire stock was out. There's no Vivid Voltage, Darkness Ablaze, Crimson Invasion, Steam Siege, XY Evolutions. There was nothing. There wasn't even starter decks. Like the $11.99, here's 42 energies and 18 actual cards you can use. No starter decks, no boxes, no Detective Pikachu. It was just Yu-Gi-Oh!, baseball, and then 3 boxes of Champions Path thrown on the shelves as if they were returned, and they just got around to processing the returns, and they go, well, these aren't open, so put them back on the shelf.
Why are people like that? Why are people like just so comfortable being evil?
Well, they own zip ties and a Pokeball Plus, and they call it
Oh, shots fired.
How dare.
Are you contacting Meijer and filing suit?
Again, this will all be in the YouTube video because it's all said and done, but I contacted the Pokemon Company. They got back to me relatively quickly. Okay, and this is not like I have some secret contacts at the Pokemon Company. I went through support.pokemon.com.
Can you contact your secret about us not getting the email?
We'll talk about that in news. I contacted the Pokemon Company. I sent a picture of all the scams. I sent a picture of the receipt. I explained the situation. They got back to me. They said, normally we have packs for misprints or issues, but this is bigger than that. Because it was $100 worth of Pokemon cards. And they said, please contact Meijer first. Here's Meijer's corporate number. We would call them. Here's their email. So I did that, and then I got pushed around the phone tree. And then I got a manager lady who was, I guess, skeptical. She was like, why'd you wait? Because I bought them on December 2nd, and I opened them on December 10th. She's like, why'd you wait so long to open them? And I was like, because I make because I was like, I shoot Pokemon videos and I didn't need them for the first week. And then she eventually seemed to believe me. Then I had to go in, which I knew exactly what was going to happen. Anytime you speak to a manager on the phone and they go, okay, ask for so-and-so in the store. You know that so-and-so in the store is not going to get the message fast enough and or remember the message fast enough, so you have to explain the whole situation again, which is what happened. I got to the store, and I got pushed around by, 4 different Meijer employees of, this one lady who, maybe I'm just judging, but I thought to myself, you know nothing.
You be a judgy kind of person? Unheard of.
You know nothing about Pokemon cards, but she was
nothing!
She was like, how do you know the merchandise was tampered with? And I was like, well, it was missing all the code cards and all the rares. And she's like, the rares. And I was like, yep, it was missing. I was like, I don't know if it's December, it's cold, I'm in a Meijer, I'm holding a bunch of unopened booster packs. Anyways, I got my money back. I mean, I wasn't too worried about Meijer not accepting the returns because I could have still went through my credit card.
Right.
Which probably would have been...
Did you take the merchandise back?
Yeah. I dropped off a bunch of opened booster packs and a huge stack of common cards on their counter.
So...
I could just envision it.
Don't go back to them because they're going to use that employee to reseal them and put them back out on the shelf.
Exactly. We could still sell these.
Avoid that Meijer.
I did, after I returned them, walk to the back area to see if they had any more Pokemon cards.
Why would you go again?
And
they're untrustworthy.
They had those big boxes of the Detective Pikachu. That's all they had in stock, which is gosh, those boxes are 2 years old now? No one's buying Detective Pikachu boxes. Again, that whole video of me opening 20 booster packs that were all scammed will be up later this week, and I recorded the phone call with the lady.
I'll make sure that's legal. That's not legal everywhere.
It's legal in Wisconsin. Okay, let's get to some Pokemon news. The Players' Cup 2... Sorry, there was finals last week for the Players' Cup 2, but I think the finals are going on right now.
The finals?
The finals.
So the first ones weren't final.
Well, they were like top 8. Now I think we're like top 4 or top 2. Something's happening today. They're giving away a golden bottle cap for VGC players, for Sword and Shield players, and then they gave away a full art Professor's Research for TCG players. And both of those graphics, by the time this podcast will be up, will either be on the Twitter or the Instagram if you want to redeem those, or in the Discord or the Slack. So that's happening. And that's kind of where it starts and stops with Sword and Shield news. Not a lot going on. We do have... This is off TheVerge.com. There's a full-on Ditto Chair that they showed off.
Yeah, I'm into the Ditto Chair.
This was sent in by Stuart. Ditto's true form is the comfiest chair. A Ditto Chair is on the way to Japanese retailers. It exists somewhere between the spectrum of Big Gut Pikachu and a beanbag chair, according to PokeJungle. It costs $250. That's it. That's the entire article. It's very surprising that, one, The Verge reported on this. Two, they made a whole article about, but just a tweet.
Here's my question. I have a fundamental question. If I sit in this chair, what is the likelihood that I will have a clone of myself?
0%, because Ditto isn't real and that chair is ugly as heck.
It's not... it's kind of a bad-looking chair.
It's not going in my house. Heck no.
It's like...
It's kind of cute. It's just a Ditto.
Will Anderson don't do cute.
Pretty sure...
Valid.
That the back of this chair, unless there's something magically built into it, which I doubt, like, I don't think you can lean back on it without it just, like, collapsing on itself.
It might have some, wooden slats in there or something that you can't see.
It's just like a beanbag chair.
Yeah.
Like, the beans will hold you up. I'm not going to say it's going to last long. Like, it's literally just sewn so that it has structure.
$250? How much is love sacks are like $1,000, aren't they?
Heck, my love sack costs over $2,000, dude.
Beanbag chair. How much? Amazon.com. Beanbag chair.
Oh, you're getting quality from it. You're getting quality over there.
Chill sack beanbag chair. Giant 5-foot memory foam is $179. Big Joe Smart Max sapphire color. Oh, God, this is an ugly chair. That's only $53. I mean, it's Pokemon tax.
Yeah.
True.
Extra $100 for it to look like a Ditto and not a giant chair.
I'm more interested in the Great Ball / Premier Ball
Ottomans?
Footstool that they got going on. There's no mention of these in the article.
No.
There should have been some more research done, Verge.
PokeJungle.
Speaking of weird Japanese things, they do that. They've had ASMR stuff actually for quite a while. It must have been a really slow news week that Polygon, the sister side of The Verge, is reporting on this. New Pokemon ASMR video lets you hang out with Pikachu for 15 minutes.
Yep.
This is on their YouTube, the Japanese YouTube.
Yep. Probably Polygon, much like myself, had that suddenly appear in their, hey, you might like this list. Because it was there, and every time I go into YouTube, it's like, do you want to watch Pikachu ASMR?
Pokemon's been on the ASMR bandwagon for a couple years now.
Have they really?
Yeah, they've had...
I think they're pushing it real hard right now.
They've had a handful of videos. Their Japanese YouTube page is kind of wild. They got dance-along videos. They got multiple trailers that don't really say or do anything there.
Just because it doesn't have meaning for you doesn't mean it doesn't have meaning.
Yeah, I mean, they're just... Japanese YouTube page just constantly pumping out stuff.
Quality content is what we'd like to say.
Well, if you're looking for... Look, if you need ASMR in your life, I'm not judging. If you like Pokemon, clearly, somehow you probably do. You listen to the show. Head over to the Japanese YouTube page. Probably just search Pikachu ASMR. You'll probably get there.
Or if you've watched any Pokemon videos, it is in your recommendation list. I guarantee it.
I don't know. Most of my recommendation list is just TikTok videos.
On YouTube?
Yep. Because I don't watch TikTok videos on TikTok. I only watch TikTok video compilations on YouTube.
Yeah.
That's how you do it. That's how they
so
don't
you're
get
watching
your data.
Somebody stealing somebody else's content to make ad revenue on YouTube.
Look, dude, did you hear about me tying a plastic band about my Pokeball Plus? I am an outlaw. I live outside the law.
I watch their TikTok videos that have been posted to their YouTube channel.
Oh, no, not me. I go to the congregators that get like everybody else's TikTok videos, and they like, I'll put all the best of them into one video so you don't have to waste your time. And I said, thank you very much, Mr. Congregator, sir.
When they ask me to like and subscribe,
TikTok,
I like and subscribe.
By the way, I do post on TikTok at PKMNcast.
Okay, explain to me the point of TikTok.
Of
yes,
TikTok
sir.
is for it to learn what you like and you don't like. So when you swipe up and down, you get content that TikTok has algorithmically served to you. That's a word.
You know, that's fantastic. And
look,
I've heard that the TikTok algorithm is fantastic at doing that. The YouTube algorithm is mediocre at doing that.
Yep.
And yet, I've been a slave to YouTube for over a decade. And TikTok is not going to get my datas. I am out of datas to give, folks.
Yeah, I don't trust TikTok. I already know that I got in bed with YouTube a long time ago, but I'm not. I am not cheating on Google with TikTok.
Yep, that's exactly it.
I already sold my soul once. I don't need to sell it again. Also, I really don't need your raw, unproved video content. When it hits big, you're going to post it everywhere else. Yep. I'll wait for the quality stuff. I don't buy individual comics anymore. I buy graphic novels. They made the choice to put that in book form because it's sold well. I know that's quality.
Well, and here's the thing, too. If you make a good TikTok video, somebody will put it into one of those YouTube compilations for me, and I don't have to worry about it.
Or you'll tweet it. I'll watch it on your tweets.
That's like those like desperate channels that are like, they'll take everyone's shiny reactions and they'll put them in a compilation because they don't have enough, because they don't do their own shiny reactions and or they're not exciting enough, so they're just going to steal everyone else's content.
That's the way I like it.
Unless the person running the YouTube page is asking the creator, like, hey, I want to put your TikTok in a compilation, which I don't think is probably happening.
Correct, because these are mediocre YouTubers, and they're putting together the best of TikTok. Those good TikTokers ain't talking to nobody except Hollywood.
That's why we can't have nice things.
What's nice about TikTok?
Hey, don't blame me. Blame capitalism.
I think TikTok is fine. What's the issue?
Oh, I got things to send you about the issue.
That isn't any different than the shady things Google,
but
Twitter,
that's the thing
Facebook.
is I'm outshaded. I've already given everything I can to give. TikTok, you showed up too late. You should have been here 15 years ago if you wanted all my data when I was young and dumb.
Shadier, FYI. It's much, much shadier, but we won't get into that.
The amount of apps on your phone that are already stealing your data without you probably knowing about it.
That's what I said. I'm out. I'm done. I'm no more. If TikTok can dethrone Facebook, then maybe. If it can convince me to uninstall Facebook, then TikTok will reign supreme.
Look, I already got to deal with people being like, every day in Twitch being like, well, I'm not installing this app because it's stealing my data, and then they have it's just like the general, like, I guess, like, my thought process is at least educate yourself on who's using what, because the amount of people in Discord being like, I'm not playing Pokemon Unite because it's owned by Tencent, and it's like, you're using Discord, which Tencent has a huge amount of money in. You're complaining on Reddit, which, spoiler, also Tencent has a huge amount of money in. Look, this is how I see things. In 5 years, it's just going to be Amazon, Google, Facebook, Tencent. It doesn't matter. It's just going to be those 5 companies killing each other over your own data. Everyone else in between's going to get sucked up by those. Maybe Disney's going to be the 6. I don't know.
Oh, Disney is well ahead of everybody else.
They've had their fingers in numerous pies for a very, very long time. It's only now becoming prevalent.
They get you when you're a child.
Yep.
They've been at it for a very, very long time. Nobody holds a candle to them.
I want to say this may be completely apocryphal, but maybe 15 or 16 years ago, I overheard somebody saying that if you did an ownership diagram of every music production company out there, and then sort of who owned them, there's actually 2 owners of every music production company in the world.
Yeah.
It's either Sony or Disney.
I have moved off the Amazon Alexa, though. All the Alexa stuff in the house gone. Moved over to the Google Home.
Oh, I'm HomePod.
I don't have any of it.
I got a bunch of Alexa stuff. You interested?
I don't even use Siri.
No, I don't use Siri either.
I also don't use HomePod. I just wanted to say that.
Pokemon Masters, there is a welcome back rally for players who have not logged into the game in 30 days. That is if you have not logged in 30 days, if you log in now between January 9th, you will have special bonuses. Masters trying to get you back. They do this 4 times a year. I don't know if other games do it, but Pokemon Go sure doesn't. But there's a welcome back rally going on right now, so if you haven't played, you might be like, why should I play? Well, I think there is is it 3,000, 6,000 gem bonus? 3,000 gem bonus comes in a couple days, right?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
For the retweet reward. I think it's the 16th. Yeah. They're giving every player 3,000 bonus gems for retweeting something. I don't remember what the retweet was. This is off bleedingcool.com. Pokemon Masters announces holiday events. So they have now announced Erica and Comfey are one of the seasonal pairs, and Skyla and Togetic are the other seasonal pair. They can both reach 6-star EX. There's a new in-game story event called Deck the Halls, which will run as the same dates as above, which is until the 31st. In order to participate in Deck the Halls, you have to complete at least Chapter 1 of the main story, which I think anyone playing Masters has definitely done that. There was 1,000 bonus gems part of this event. There is a new legendary arena, which is Regirock, which I didn't put two and two together, but the same week they did Regirock, they also put Regirock into raids in Pokemon Go, so maybe that was coordinated in some weird way. Maybe it was a coincidence. That goes until December 20th. There is the returning legendary event of the Beast That Devours the Sky, which is the way to get Solgaleo. That will go until... Sorry, the Regirock goes until December 20th. The Solgaleo event goes till January 3rd. And then Dawn and Turtwig and Brendan and Trico have returned to Masters until December 20th. If you're interested in those characters, I think Togekiss and Skyla, and I think Erica and Comfey are fine. Actually, they're not fine. I think Skyla's outfit is bad. I think that Erica's outfit is good. I think putting a red Santa coat on Skyla was a bad choice because her hair is pink, so it clashes very poorly together.
Is this what you've gotten to? Is this your critique of Pokemon Masters? Is that they have a poor sense of fashion?
Yes. Okay, Erica's outfit is legit good. They could have flipped Erica's and Skyla's outfit, and I think it would have worked out. But Skyla's hair does not look good with an all red. But
Skyla is blonde.
No, she has pink hair,
but not in the game. Not in real Pokemon, quote, quote.
Okay, I'm looking this up. I'm opening up Pokemon.
I pulled a full art Skyla at some point in my life. I can guarantee you that they are blonde and they wear a blue outfit.
Okay, so normal Skyla.
Or red-haired. I guess my memory's not so good.
Yeah, no, her hair's like pinkish. Okay,
pinkish.
in Unova, her hair is pink and she has an all blue outfit, and pink and blue look good together.
She's kind of like maroon.
So she has reddish hair. Like it is a deep red. It's not a burgundy. It doesn't have that much purple in it, but it's not pink. It is red.
My Photoshop color picker out and hex code her hair here.
But it's a different color than the like. I don't think she looks bad in that outfit.
I think pink hair and a red outfit looks bad. Pink and red don't look super...
They're next to each other in the color wheel.
That doesn't mean anything.
They're complementary. Yes, it does.
No, complementary is not next to each other.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't take color theory while I was studying how to make war at Georgetown University.
But just basic definite, just because two things are next to each other in the color wheel does not define them as complementary. Let's just be very clear here.
I mean, it depends on what color theory you're following.
I pulled the Skyla. I have not pulled.
I have not.
Erica. Still don't have the official announcement of what the secret character is going to be. I think that's the 20th. I mean, like, we're all guessing N. I don't know how it's not going to not be N.
But it's N and who?
Oh, that's true. Yeah, we don't know the
question.
Pokemon. They haven't changed the stamina stuff, right? I'm pretty sure that gets changed at the end of the month.
Stamina seems to be, like, everything seems to cost the same still.
Yeah, they said they're going to change it from earning 6 points a minute? It's like 6 points every 10 minutes. I don't know what the ratio is. They're changing it from 6 to 4. It says in the producer notes that I don't have in front of me.
I don't know what that does for us, though.
There is, so they rolled out, this is the thing we should actually talk about. They rolled out this tiered scout thing. So there's 2 banners that have, there's an Erica tiered scout and there's a Skyla tiered scout. And they look kind of exciting. Like everything in gacha games look exciting until you read the details.
I disagree that they look exciting. And if you want an example of why they're so bad with their banner, the banners right now is why they're so bad with their banners.
Wait, what do you mean banners? Oh, you mean the new banners?
Yeah, well, just their whole banner section is a hot mess.
I mean, some people just really want Cynthia and Steven, so might as well run it.
It's way too much. You have way too many things just happening for no good reason.
Well, they did say it's a welcome back period, so I mean, welcome back, and then put probably one of your most popular banners, Cynthia and Steven, in. Maybe Dawn and Trico, I don't know. They clearly know what's popular, what's not. I don't know why Jasmine's here. I don't know why Jasmine's banner is running right now.
There are 8 banners. 2 of them look exactly alike. Like, they make it so confusing and overwhelming.
I don't know.
Like
I would rather have 8 banners than 1 banner or 2 banners running.
Why?
Because I would want options.
Yeah, but the point is that the other ones are...
Walking into a grocery store where they have the gumball machines and seeing 2 gumball machines or seeing 8 gumball machines. You got more to look at.
Study after study after study after study shows more choices make people very unhappy.
Correct. This is a psychological study that was literally done in grocery stores.
Because of that exact phenomenon. This is why people get frustrated when they look at the banner system and they don't know what they're actually getting. It is overwhelming. It is not well spelled out, and they do it deliberately. And their banner system is a nightmare. Especially since they have 4 banners that seem to duplicate each other, except for one is paid.
Yeah, so the new banner, which they just introduced, it has a tier 1 scout, which, okay, so it says 3 pulls for 300 gems. And on paper, that is fine, right? Because a single pull, okay, I'm looking at the 2 Skylas side by side. We'll see if we can explain this.
See, this is why this is a problem.
The new banner versus the traditional banner is an issue in itself. The other complaint we just had was there's just a lot of banners. But this is a whole different area. So if you do a sync pair pull on Skyla, that's 300 gems, which is what it always is. That's one pull. And then they changed it in the 1-year anniversary. So if you save up 3,000 gems, you get 11 pulls. It used to be 10, but you get a bonus pull, which we all complained about for years. Well, a year. And they changed it permanently. So you get rewarded for saving up 3,000 gems. You get an extra pull. Yeah. You get a bonus.
You finally get a reward.
So that's been going since September or whatever. And then if you have paid gems, which you can always tell it's paid because the button will be yellow instead of blue. It's the really easy way to tell. So any of the blue buttons, you can use free gems. Any of the yellow buttons are specifically paid gems. So for paid gems, you get a daily discount. You get 1 pull a day for 100 gems, 1/3 the cost of the free gems of 300. That's how it's always been, minus it used to be 10, but now you get 11. So this new banner that just rolled out with this holiday event says that you get 3 pulls for 300 gems. And you think, dang, that's like the normal 300 gem pull on Skyla, but I get 3 of them instead of 1. That's a heck of a good deal. But those buttons are yellow, which means you cannot use your free gems. You have to use paid. So that tells you right away that this whole banner that they introduced is a paid banner.
Mm-hmm.
So people are mad, but this banner is not designed for those people, right? This banner is designed for whales.
But I mean, that doesn't.
Yeah, well, I mean, okay, let's talk about how much money you'd have to put in this banner. So you do 300 gems, which is $3, give or take. You get 3 pulls. So on paper, that's not reasonably bad, right? Because I think a daily scout is fine. Like, I think the $1 daily scout is I would argue good. $1 for a pull versus $3 for a pull, or 300 gems, which you can earn eventually for free. The tier 2 is 5 pulls for 900 gems. So you're saving $1, right? No. Yes? No. No, that's $2 a pull at that point, right? Yeah, because it would be 500 gems if it was $1 a pull.
Yep.
And then the tier. So so it's broken in. It's 5 ultimate pulls. It's just each pull is money. So the first pull is $3. You get 5. First pull is $3. You get 3 pulls. The next pull is $10. You get 5 pulls. The next pull is 7 pulls for $15, assuming that a gem is a penny. Then tier 4 is $20 for 9 pulls. And then the final one is 11 pulls, the same as it would be, but 3,000 gems, but it's all paid. And at the very end, you get a Skyla and Togekiss Great Scout ticket guaranteed. So you are paying, oh boy, 5,000, 6,500, 7,500, 7,700 gems to get 35 pulls. For how much money is that? A lot.
Yeah, it's a lot of money.
More than $0.
But you could make the argument that no person... This is the argument in my head. No person, maybe actually, I take that back. There is probably somebody who loves Skyla so much that has not given Masters money, that has maybe given Masters money at this point. But who is spending that much money, 7,700 gems?
So
who isn't just already a whale to begin with? Also, that's $60, by the way.
Yeah, it's like $60.
$60 for one character, one Pokemon.
Yeah, I've never spent like $52 on a Deoxys.
No.
Look, you spent $52 on the entertainment of getting to travel from Pokestop to Pokestop and encountering each Deoxys and the community of people who exist at that Pokestop at that point in time. You did not pay for the actual Pokemon. Pokémon Masters is a completely singular, non-interactive, I can't do it with my friends kind of game.
Oh, there was a co-op mode at one point.
No, that's just gone.
Okay, I think this is the worst part. Even if you spend the $60 to get the Skyla ticket, because remember, at the end of $60, you get the 35 pulls, you spend the $60, the 35 pulls don't have like an increased, I don't think they have an increased ratio of Skyla in them. Tiered Scout, offering rate, Skyla's to the 2% in it. So if you go to the normal banner, Skyla's 2%. Even if you spend the $65 and then you go to Ticket Scout and then you cash in your Skyla ticket, you go, hey, mister, I got enough tickets for the Skyla ticket. I would like it to cash it in. I would like the Skyla behind you. He goes, no, Sir Timmy. This is not how this gacha game works. Thank you for your Skyla ticket that you've earned. We're going to spin another wheel. And Skyla is only 25%. And the other 75% is any other possible 5-star that you may or may not be interested in.
But can I turn those into dust to get a Skyla?
No. No.
It's...
So I just spent $65 and I'm still not even guaranteed that I can get a Skyla.
Correct.
In a game that I don't even enjoy playing.
Well,
because
this is what
I have it set to autoplay,
this is why
and I don't
wanted
actually
to talk
don't
about
play
it.
it.
So if this banner didn't exist, the whales would just do the one banner, right? The normal Skyla banner that has always existed for new characters. I'd be curious to talk to somebody who's spent thousands of dollars in Masters and go, hey, how do you feel about this new system? Because ultimately, they're probably spending the same amount of money. It's just the difference at the end is they get a ticket that gives them a 1 in 4 chance of getting the character that they've been pulling for, as opposed to a system that doesn't give them a ticket. It just seems weird. It's more of like a thought process of mobile games of, well, what was the statistic for like all mobile games? Like, it's like less than 5% of the people make up like 95% of the revenue or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds
it's
rational.
Something like that.
Do you just at that point make a system to like somewhat satisfy the 5% that gives you the 95% of your money? Like, are these people happy with this banner? Because I think the majority of people would probably be okay with the banner if you could use your free gems. If I had the choice of pulling on Skyla's banner, which I can with my free gems, versus trying this new tiered system, which does ask for a lot of gems. It's like over 7,000 gems. Would I be more inclined if I was allowed to use my free? I don't know. It's just I'm severely doubting the majority of people will ever experience this banner because it's a paid banner and because it's ideally not meant for them. I can't imagine this banner is I can't imagine that this banner would trigger somebody who has never bought gems to buy gems.
No.
Oh, wait, if you click on the detail, there's more pulls. It only shows up to tier 5. And then you get the 25% ticket. And then there's a tier 6, a tier 7, a tier 8, a tier 9, a tier 10, which is another 2,000, 2,500, 2,500, 2,500 at discounted though. So the tier 6 through 10 gives you all 11 pulls, but they are severely discounted. The first one is only 2,000 gems as opposed to 3,000. The next 3 are 2,500, so you're saving $5 on each. And then the final tier 10 pull is 3,000, but it gives you a different ticket. Let's go to Ticket Scout. And that ticket is called the Master Scout ticket, which gives you 100% chance at Skyla.
Well, thank goodness.
Now, this changes everything. Now I'm ready to pony up $120. How much?
I mean, there are Skyla stands out there.
Yeah.
So maybe $120 is not that much to pay to get Skyla in your game, dude. Even if she is wearing clothes that don't go so well with her particular hair color.
It's true. That's the real dilemma. I spent all my gems on Skyla. All my free gems. I have nothing for Erica now. All right.
That's why you're angry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, by the way, full disclosure, I am partnered with DNA. Let's take a break, and when we come back, we will talk about the other... Oh, boy. Let's talk about how people are unhappy with an $8 Mr. Mime ticket. We will be right back.
Our Japanese correspondent, Andrew, did a lot of work.
So I just thought it would be fun that we translated some Japanese tweets. I thank Masuda for creating such an interesting game, but I have something to say to all of you bad words involved in the Dex cut. Quit now, frauds. Quit now, frauds.
I love quit now, frauds. Quit now, fraud. I need to work that into my day-to-day. Like, it is the new learn to play noobs. It is.
Quit now, frauds. Quit now, frauds.
Quit now, frauds. I love quit now, frauds. Quit now, frauds. Yeah, quit now, frauds.
And we are back. I did the math. You need 20,000 gems in order to get to the 10-star Skyla.
Wow.
20,000 paid gems
Paid
for those
gems.
who forgot during the musical break.
And the most that you could buy is like 9,800 gems in the store. And so you'd have to buy that about 3 times. All in all, you're spending about $160.
$160, but you're guaranteed a Skyla and a Togekiss.
I don't even know if they're any good.
Speaking of spending money, there are a couple Pokemon Go updates. First update is Regirock, Registeel, and Regice are returning to raids in December. By the time you're listening to this, Regirock will be gone, but Registeel will be available from December 19th through December 20th. Regice will be available through the 26th to the 27th. They're just weekend raids that they're doing for, December. Kyurem will still be available throughout the month, including the weekends that the Regis will be spawning. And then before we get to the ticketed stuff, Pokemon Go did do something with the Game Awards, which was kind of cool, I think. I don't know. It was all right. The Game Awards took place on Thursday night. They released Shiny Wooper, and then while watching the Game Awards, they would have the host, I don't know what her name was, she would say, hey, there's a Wooper alert, and then Woopers would come on screen, and then in your game, there would be more Woopers spawning when she said, there's a Wooper alert. It was kind of cool.
Wasn't it Olivia? Was it Olivia Munn?
Everyone thought, no, it was budget Olivia Munn.
Oh.
But look, dude, I don't trust anything that you say about I don't know who that person was because you didn't know who Gal Gadot was.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how do you live in the year 2020 and not know who Gal Gadot is?
Somebody who watched a lot of G4, I am very confident when I see an Olivia Munn.
I mean,
she
congrats.
was not
You still
Olivia
don't know
Munn.
who Gal Gadot is.
No, I don't. Is that like the evolution of Garchomp?
No, we're done. Moving on.
I can't even with you.
PokemonGoLive.com. Celebrate Pokemon's anniversary with a brand new event, Pokemon Go Tour Kanto. Next year marks Pokemon's anniversary, the 25th, and Pokemon Go's 5th anniversary. To celebrate, we are excited to announce a virtual ticketed event to all trainers around the globe. No matter where you were, it will take you back to where it's all started, which is Kanto. And before people say they're sick of Kanto.
I'm so sick of Kanto.
You can choose between buying a red version ticket or a green version ticket. Each will include version exclusive Pokemon, complete event exclusive special research, test your Pokemon collection skills. Trading with a friend who chose the other version will be important, just like where it was in Pokemon Red and Green. Can you collect all 150 in a day? ? We are also excited to announce that during the Pokemon Go Tour Kanto event, The first 150 Pokemon discovered in the Kanto region will all be available as shiny, some of them the first time ever. If you're lucky, you may find a shiny Pokemon, be able to encounter shiny Pokemon after the event is over. That's not all. After completing the Pokemon GO tour, trainers will receive a second event of exclusive special research line. Overcoming difficult challenges and daunting tasks will be required to complete it, but it will be worth it to discover a shiny Mew. Tickets for the GO tour are available in the app shop now. If you purchase your ticket before a certain date, you will also receive the special research stories for January and February community days. If you choose not to purchase a ticket, there are still exciting features for you to do during the event. More details about the Kanto tour. So the Kanto event will take place on Saturday, February 20th from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m.
But that's Greg's anniversary. Somebody call them and tell them to change the date.
Mine's the 28th.
Oh, Dag, you keep confusing me, Greg. Your anniversary is canceled now.
That's because I have 4.
Canceled. All 4. Canceled. Done.
All Pokemon discovered in the Kanto region will be available in the wild, and will be in raids, and will be encounters after research. They will be attracted to incense, and they will be obtainable via evolution. Try to collect... Let's point out the wording they use here. Try to collect the first 150 originally discovered to earn rewards and bragging rights. You'll be able to track your progress in the day view. Are you ready for the challenge? Okay, this is where I want to stop. This ticket is paid for. It is $12 or whatever. We'll get to that. But there are people that are worried that they're going to pay $12, not be able to collect all these Pokemon, and then not get their shiny Mew. I asked Niantic about this. Their default response was, we'll have more details closer to the event, but don't stress. It'll be fine. My personal opinion is there's no way that Niantic is charging you $12 and you're not going to walk away with a shiny Mew. Unless you pay the $12 and then just not play at all during the weekend. That might be a situation. But specifically, we have to always look at how they word these sentences. So I'm going to reread the sentence. Try to collect the first 150 Pokemon originally discovered to earn rewards and bragging rights. So there have been multiple situations where you have done something hard. For example, they did that like 4-week thing where every week you had to do something difficult. Like one of them was like, what was it? Like 100 excellent throws or something? Do you remember? You remember that?
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
But you didn't get anything for it.
Yeah.
You didn't get a medal. You didn't get any start. You didn't get anything for it. It was literally something to brag about. So I believe that even if you can't get all 150 in a day, that's not going to lock you out of Shiny Mew. Otherwise, they would say collect 150 Pokemon to earn your rewards. But they specifically threw in the two important things here is try to collect. And the second one is bragging rights. I bet you have to do maybe 100 of the 150 in order to move on to step 2. And then if you got 150, it's literally something you screenshot and you post on Twitter and people care about it for about 5 seconds. And then no one ever remembers that you did 100 excellent throws back in. I can't even remember the month it was in.
Because nobody cares about bragging rights.
Right. But that's fine. If somebody wants to go out of their way to do it, and take a screenshot and remember their personal accomplishment, cool. Don't think if you spend your $12 that you're going to be like, oh, I spent $12 for nothing. I do think you have to spend $12 and put a little bit of effort in. It's like if you wanted, the shiny Zygarde back in the day. Your effort was, it was a free shiny Zygarde. You still had to go to GameStop, walk into the store, and unfortunately talk to the person on the other end of the counter. I know it's hard, and it sucked, but you walked out of there with a shiny Zygarde.
I mean, I don't have Victini in Pokemon GO yet, even though I paid for it.
Yeah, but you just have to finish the task. It's not like they didn't give you...
No. It's because I didn't play... on that Sunday.
Yeah, that was the... Yeah, you didn't log in to accept it.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying, is if you're paying for it, make sure you turn the game on.
So the other question is this the first time a Shiny Mew has been available?
It's been available twice. It was available in Emerald when only in Japan. You needed to go to a physical location and sync your Game Boy Advance SP or whatever to get an item called the Old Sea Map. And the Old Sea Map would then take you to the island where Mew was. And you could shiny hunt it. It was 1 in 8,000. And the second time that Shiny Mew was available was at, I believe, the Nintendo store in New York, where you could get a Mew distribution for I believe, your copy of Gold and Silver. And there was a 1 in 20 chance that the Mew you got through to the distribution was shiny. But that was a very specific one city, one store event for a game that never transferred with any other game. So I don't think most people count that one.
Wait, Gold and Silver didn't transfer to other games?
No. That was the huge dilemma, that everything from the Game Boy didn't transfer to the Game Boy Advance.
Oh, that's right. I thought, for some reason, you said Gold and Silver. I heard Heart Gold, Heart Silver.
Oh, no. Original Gold and Silver.
Yeah.
So you went up to the Nintendo retail employee and they would sync like they would at Toys R Us, and there was a small chance that the Mew would be shiny. But yeah, I don't think most of the people count that event since it was so limited and it was before the great divide of Game Boy to Game Boy Advance. After completing the Pokemon GO Tour Kanto Special Research, trainers will receive a second event-exclusive research. Overcoming difficult challenges and daunting tasks will be required, but it will be worth it for Shiny Mew. Select which experience you want, red version or green version. See the below for differences. All 150 Pokemon will be able to be discovered. All will be shiny, some for the first time. You are more likely to encounter certain shiny Pokemon in the wild depending on what version you select. Enjoy an event-exclusive Pokemon GO Tour Kanto Research story, which you can earn special Pokemon encounters. Once you complete the first special research, you will earn access to the second special research, meant to be completed over a long period of time, in which you will embark on a long, challenging journey to discover Shiny Mew. If you earn more candy for catching Pokemon you'll earn more candy. If you purchase a Kanto ticket before a certain date, you will receive the January and February special research stories. Those are normally $1 each, by the way. If you decide not to buy a ticket, some Pokemon originally discovered in the Kanto region will be in the wild in raids. Articuno, Zapdos, Moltres, Mewtwo will be returning to raids. They will have featured exclusive attacks. All trainers have access to exclusive timed research, and they will increase the trading range to 40 kilometers. I don't know what that is in freedom measurements. It's probably a couple miles, I'm assuming.
About 25 miles, sir.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, so red version, green version. Red version has exclusive Pokemon. They'll have the Ekans, the Oddish, the Mankey, the Growlithe, the Scyther, the Electabuzz. Green version will have the Sandshrew, the Vulpix, the Meowth, the Bellsprout, the Magmar, and the Pinsir. I think that's pretty similar to what they were back in the day for the Japanese. If you buy the red ticket, you will have the increased following Pokemon as shiny, meaning these Pokemon will be easier to get as shiny during the event. This is for red. Bulbasaur, Charmander, Squirtle, Pidgey, Ekans, Pikachu, Nidoran, Oddish, Diglett, Mankey, Growlithe, Ponyta, Shelder, Drowsy, Krabby, Hitmonlee, Lickitung, Scyther, Electabuzz, Eevee, Kabuto, Dratini. If you buy the green version, these are your shiny Pokemon increase. Bulbasaur, Charmander, Squirtle, Pidgey, Pikachu, Sandshrew, Nidoran, male. The other one is female. Vulpix, Meowth, Psyduck, Bellsprout, Geodude, Execute, Hitmonchan, Quaffing, Tangela, Horsey, Magmar and Pinsir, Eevee, Omanite, Dratini. You will be able to collect the first 100 Pokemon discovered in the Kanto region in several challenges. Could be severe.
Severe, we don't know.
If you don't manage to collect the first 150 Pokemon discovered in the Kanto region, this is how I know no one reads these press releases. Don't worry. You'll have until February 27th to 12 p.m. PST to catch certain Pokemon. You can use this extra time to trade, evolve, battle in raids, and encounter Pokemon to finish your collection to claim the rewards. Articuno will know Hurricane. Zapdos will know Thundershock. Moltres will know Sky Attack. Mewtwo will know Psystrike. January Community Day will take place on January 16th. February Community Day will take place on February 7th. You will get free tickets to that if you purchase the Kanto ticket beforehand. The Kanto ticket is $11.99. You cannot buy them with coins. You must buy them with money. And please check back in coming weeks for more details. Okay, I think that's the entire event. I think for a 5-year anniversary event, as much as people are sick of like Kanto, and let me tell you, those people are like people who do CrossFit. They need to let you know at all periods of time that they are sick of Kanto. I get it. Even though people are sick of Kanto, I can't think of a better way to introduce Shiny Mew. I think this is, people always complain that they want mythicals to feel special. They hate when they just hand out mythicals. You just go to Pokemon's website, you scan a QR code. That's how you get Magearna. It's not that exciting. I feel like this is a really cool way to give out Shiny Mew. Personally.
I mean, I like it. I just have one question. I already have a complete Kanto Pokedex in Pokemon
You gotta
Go.
do it over.
What? What? I throw away more Kanto Pokemon than I am required to catch for this particular event.
Wait till I tell you how you get to 50.
Oh, no.
You gotta do a lot of things over again.
Gardenscape's looking better and better day by day.
Mm-hmm.
Greg, give me the thoughts.
I mean, I'm not that excited. I think $12 is a lot to recatch everything that I have already.
I mean, you can find Farfetches and Kangaskans in the wild. That's exciting.
But I already have them. Like, they came out of eggs. I would be more excited if the world was in a better place and we could have a much larger group doing this.
I agree.
So I'm paying $12 for... It's fine. Like, everything's going to be shiny. Hopefully you'll catch them. Cool. Like, I'm in a very downswing and go right now. The game is really just not my favorite thing that I have to do with my life. I don't think the price is that outrageous, given that something else coming up seems more outrageous. I would be more excited about the event if I had any sense of where things will be in February. I don't know. I don't know what the world is like in February. I don't know if I can get a group of people or not. I don't know where, it's when we get a lot of snow and it's very cold.
I was going to say, here's one thing we do know. The average daily temperature is probably going to be 16 degrees.
Yeah. So, like, the only thing to do is to go either drive around, which isn't fun, or go to
MOA,
a potentially very high-risk area.
Wait, what if I rent a stretch limo for the day?
I'm in.
Well, Will said MOA was pretty dead
fun.
last time he went.
Yeah, but I also went on a Monday.
Okay.
Right.
Well, this is a Saturday after Christmas.
It's the Saturday after Christmas, but it's also a huge Pokemon event, which, on weekends at MOA, used to draw a ton of people.
Well, we need some science done, Greg. We need you to go to MOA and
not going to MOA.
January 18th or whatever, mid-January.
Just remind me, I literally live next door to the Mall
There's
of
a
America.
couple of problems.
I will go.
Okay, option 2.
Option 2 is
we all buy
driving.
tickets to San Antonio and we just play outside.
I'm not paying $100 to fly round trip to San Antonio for Pokemon Go.
Have you been to San Antonio? It's quite charming.
It's a gorgeous
I'm sure
city.
It's nice.
They got a river walk down there.
I mean, we have a Riverwalk too. It's just too cold.
Yeah, I mean, this is my problem with the event. It's not the event itself. It's
No.
Pokemon Go is not fair. If you live in Canada, you have snow 10 months out of the year, and unfortunately, it makes it hard to play outside. If you live in Texas, it's pretty gorgeous every single day. If you live in the city, you have easy access to Pokeballs. If you live in Appleton, Wisconsin, good luck trying to stock up before a community day because you don't have stops.
I will say there is another option that we could do that's not the MOA, which is all of downtown Minneapolis, which is a giant mall and doesn't have as many people. Like, there are other options. Like,
you're talking about like all the buildings that connect through the
Yeah, all the
Skywalks.
skyways are open, and there's nobody working downtown right now, period. And they have much better circulation than the mall does. So, like, there are options. But the biggest thing is, like, some of our best Pokemon Go times were when we had, like, a group of 12 people all doing wild and fun stuff together. And that is just not something that can happen. Unless radical changes happen throughout January, which all signs point to no. Will I probably still do it? I'm still deciding. If Will is like, I'm in, and you're like, yeah, I'm going to come down, and we can just have a group of 3, and, we can hit downtown Minneapolis and see how it is, like, that at least gets me more into the mood of, yeah, I'll buy this, because at least I'm with a small group of people and having some fun that way. If nobody else is in and it's just me driving around, then
I think
I
think
lasted
as a solo
an hour
event's bad.
yesterday. Like,
Well,
I
I'll tell you
literally
what,
lasted an hour.
I'm getting me a Shiny Mew. Period.
Okay.
Done. That's happening.
So are you buying red or green?
I'm buying red based off the shinies I'm missing.
I mean, red's got the oddish.
So I will be forced into green, is what we're hearing right now.
I mean, I could do green because I already have oddish. I have multiple oddish.
I don't care either way, honestly, because we have to trade. We can trade all the great shinies we get.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think based off the shinies I'm missing, I'm kind of forced to get red.
Well, I mean, since I have multiple Pokemon Go accounts, I'll just get one red in one and one green in the other.
You don't
Said
have
noted
multiple
cheater
accounts.
Will Anderson.
TOS.
I don't have multiple accounts.
With weather aside and pandemic aside, I think the event is solid.
The event is solid.
Yes,
the event
yes.
in a different world, in alternate Earth, would be a lot of fun.
I mean, it just happens that we're in a pandemic for the 25th anniversary, which is they want to do something special for their 25th, right? We expect a lot of things to be happening next year. For the 5th year of anniversary, I think like those two just coinciding, I think the event is strong. I think this is why they lock Pokemon, right? They lock these Pokemon because when they finally do unlock them, they feel super special.
I mean, I disagree that it feels super special because they finally unlocked it, but I mean, ultimately, it's just another thing that I have.
It's just
it's just once you sort of go, oh, it's just marketing, and they're like, alternate color it's just that, and sometimes they're a good alternate color, and I'm like, yeah, I really want that. Like, I think the Swinub lines alternate shiny, they're so bad. I'm like, it's fine. I do not need these. I hate these color things.
So now we have the other event they announced. I'm not going to read the fluff. Enjoy a weekend with Pokemon related to the cold and sound from Friday, December 18th through Monday, December 21st. So that is this upcoming weekend. You can enjoy the following features, whether or not you buy a Galarian Mr. Mime special research story event. Features: Pokemon such as Jinx, Swinub, Spoink, Woobat, and Cubchoo will be attracted to incense more frequently. If you are lucky, you may get... They stopped using the word trainers. If you're lucky, trainers, you may encounter a shiny Cubchoo. Maybe we're all not trainers. Bonuses will include an incense will be increased or more effective, whatever that means. Incense will last 3 hours during the event. You can purchase the ticket to have this unique limited time experience and complete special research to earn an encounter with Galarian Mr. Mime. You will also earn enough Mr. Mime candy to encounter Galarian Mr. Mime or to evolve Galarian Mr. Mime into Mr. Rhyme. That event will take place Saturday, December 19th through Sunday, December 20th, so it is a 2-day event. Ticketed research will come with the following. You will get a new special research line featuring an encounter with Galarian Mr. Mime. First time in Pokemon Go. You will also, by the end of it, have enough candy to evolve into Mr. Rhyme. You will earn a special medal. You will get special research tasks that will lead to encounters to Alolan Vulpix, Jigglypuff, Jinx, Whismur, Chimecho, and Snorunt. You will have a brand new avatar pose inspired by Mr. Mime. You will earn 3 incense, 3 rare candy, 30 Ultra Ball, 3 premium raid passes, 1 Poffin, 2 glacial lure modules, 3 super incubators, and 3 star pieces. You will get exclusive field research tasks for Jinx, Lapras, Woobat, and Cubchoo. The event is Saturday from 10 a.m. to Sunday to 8 p.m. You can complete it at any time once you accept it. The ticket is $7.99 USD. The ticket will be available until Sunday. You can buy it 2 hours before the event ends. The ticket story event is not refundable, and that's it. So we have so it's very easy to compare these two events since they were announced 3 days apart. One event is $12, and at the end of it, you get a Shiny Mew, and it is a 12-hour event. It's from 9 to 9. This is an $8 event, and you get Mr. Mime, and it's a 2-day event, but you also get a bunch of other things that people don't seem to read, nor care about, nor notice. They just put they just take the Pokemon, and they take the price value, and then they compare the two.
I mean, again, we've talked about this. Adding things that are quote-unquote value add are only actually value if you need them or consider them worth it.
Yes.
Like 3 instances, 3 rare candies, 30 Ultra Balls. Like these, everything that's in that list, I don't need. I have a ton of all of these things.
I agree 100%. I am the same.
So looking at getting those extra things, it's like, okay, I am removing that because that is actually things I don't need and clog up my bag. Like I have a lot of this stuff.
Okay, I did the math.
The brand new pose, depends on what it is. None of
they show
Mr.
it.
Mime's
They show it in
poses
it's
are great.
The poses in the picture.
Yeah, that's not good.
It's fine.
It's not a good pose.
You look like Mr. Mime.
Which is not good.
I don't think any of the poses have been particularly good.
So you kind of like you put a big sort of asterisk by that one.
Okay, hold on. Let's break this down just real quick. Got to do the math part. What you were paying for. So when we talked about the Mew event, there was no items, right? They didn't say like you pay $12, you get 7 star pieces, right? There was none of that. You pay $12, you get the research, you get the special research, you get the and then you get the 2 tickets to January, February. Right? That's all you're paying for.
Yep.
Correct.
That is what they did for the Regigigas event, which was $7.99. You paid for Regigigas. You got the pose, and that's it, and the medal. That was it. There was items that you would earn through the research, which they said the Mew event has research. They say this event has research. They don't say what the items you have during the research, so it could be the same. I don't know. I just went back and looked at the Regigigas, and it didn't promise any items. Maybe they added it after the fact when people complained. But in this instance, you were paying for a pose that's normally $5. Whether or not you want the pose, it comes with it. You're getting a medal. There's no cost to a medal. If you like collecting a medal, it's the only way to get it. You're getting a Poffin, which is $1. You're getting 3 incense, which is $1.20. You're getting 2 glacier lures. Those are $2 each, so that's $4. You were getting 3 star pieces. Those are $1 each. Although if you bought 5 of them, you get like a small discount. But anyways, that's $3. You were getting 3 super incubators. Those are $2 each, so that's $6. And then you were getting 3 premium raid passes. That is $3. So all in all together, that is $23 worth of stuff that you could buy separately in the store. So on paper, if you use Poffins incense, glacier lures, star pieces, incubators, premium passes. Most hardcore people are using the lures. They're using not the lures. They're using the incense. They're using the star pieces. They're using the incubators. They're using the raid passes. So on paper, money-wise, you are making out ahead. You're paying $8 for $23 worth of stuff. Even if you don't want the pose, you're paying $8 for $18 worth of stuff. But, correct, if you do not use any of these items,
they're worthless.
It's worthless, right? It's like buying the biggest tub of cream cheese.
It's marketing. It's the oldest marketing in the book. It's like when you sign up for, if you buy this, you get all of these extra things.
You get all these
retail
channels.
value of $300 for only $50.
I do use all these items, though.
Now, so I will reiterate what I said earlier in this program is what you're paying for is none of this digital garbage that they could or could not give you, depending on whatever their whim of their electrons may be. What you're paying for is the experience of doing the Galarian and Mr. Mime event.
Yes. Yeah.
Whatever that takes you through.
No, that is true. I have used Poffins. Glacier lures, you need to get to like level 42 or whatever because you need a Glaceon in order to get to 42. Otherwise, you gotta.
I got so many different kinds of lures. I got all the lures.
Really? I am out, and I felt like I held them for so long.
I don't sit on a stop to make it worthwhile to use.
You're never at a restaurant and you're like, I'm here at, well, never mind.
Yes, no. When I go to a restaurant, I pay attention to the person I'm at the restaurant with, and I have a pleasant conversation.
Yeah, but that's, you can still have a pleasant conversation and check your glacier lure from Voltex.
I have been to restaurants with you before. You are unable to do this.
Yeah, Will is correct. You're paying for experiences. You're paying for the opportunity to do something that is created for you. You could argue that in all of these events, the Regigigas event, the Genesect event, this Mr. Mime event, the Mew event, you are paying for a unique storyline. And there is a story, and there are people talking, and there is a issue, and you solve it. But I think most Pokemon players don't even recall any of the dialogue. But just like DLC to a game, you are paying for added story. Whether or not you think that story is good, that is up to you. But somebody at Niantic is sitting there writing a storyline for that experience for you to go through. If you were one of those players that didn't realize that all of these dollar events for Community Day or all of these $8 events have a story and you just tap through it as fast as possible, then sure, yeah, you probably don't care. Just like you could buy a $60 game and just skip all the dialogue. You have every right to do that. But that doesn't mean that they didn't have to pay a writer to do that. So you're paying for an experience. You're paying for all these items, whether you're going to use them or not. Hopefully you do use them. You're paying for a story, and you're paying for the opportunity to do something. So I think for $8, I think that's fine. But a lot of people can't separate that they paid $8 for Regigigas, a legendary Pokemon. They paid $8 for Genesect, a mythical Pokemon, and now they're paying $8 for ultimately what is Mr. Mime.
Yeah.
So I don't fault anyone for being like, I don't think this is worth it. But we do have to separate Pokemon from prices, because you don't want to be that person that is like, well, they charged $50 for a Mew. No, they charged $50 for a piece of hardware that vibrates and lights up and that connects to your iPhone, and that connects to your Nintendo Switch, that auto-catches Pokemon, that can also be used as a complete controller in a game that just happened to have a Mew with it. But yeah, if you want to just look at it black and white and say that was $50 for a Mew, and you bought it and then you proceeded to throw the controller in the garbage, sure, I guess we can have that conversation.
Well, it's like literally, it's like going to an amusement park where it costs $40 and it's like pay $40 for the day. You can ride any of the rides. Oh, hey, and we'll give you a free popcorn when you buy that $40 ticket, and walking out and saying, boy, that popcorn was real bad. Yeah, but I just rode 50 roller coasters. But what your takeaway is the popcorn was really bad and wasn't worth $50.
But I don't want to say like there's too many events. Because I don't think I don't think that's the problem. Although we have talked about how it feels like there are too many events. But
I mean, I think that is still part of the problem.
But if you only play Pokemon Go, it probably doesn't feel like too many.
It's a line. If this is your only game, then yeah, you're hungry for it. But the percentage of people that this is their only game is relatively small.
I might disagree with you on that, Greg. I think that there's a lot of people where it's like Pokemon Go is their thing, and that is their focus. Because I was actually reflecting on this recently, because I was like, my engagement with Pokemon Go waxes and wanes, and I was waxing a little bit, and then it was like, there is just so much going on in this game right now. It's like all the Team Rocket, this, that, and the other that you got to do, and battling other trainers that you got to do, and raids that you got to do, along with the catching of the Pokemon, and like, I mean, if you look in your bag, and if you're like me and haven't used any items, there's just so many different items in there. It's almost like a regular console Pokemon game with a number of weird items that do like this, that, or the other. And it's like, I was like, you know what? That's because I am willing to give Pokemon Go 15 to 20 minutes a day, when there are people out there who will give Pokemon Go 1 to 4 hours per day.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm like, that's what all of this stuff is for. It is not for me.
I don't think that's a high percentage of people.
Well, what's World of Warcraft like? Because that study has been done, like people who play World of Warcraft, isn't it like something like 80% of them only play World of Warcraft or something crazy like that? Like they don't play anything else. That's just like the thing that they've.
I don't know that has been studied. That I think the study is they only play World of Warcraft and not any other MMOs. But not, they only play World of Warcraft and no other games. I don't think I've never heard of that study. So if it's out there, I want to see it.
I'd be curious
but
too.
I do know that people get into silos with their MMOs because that's where their friends play. So you tend to stick with where your friends are. So if all of your friends don't jump over, it's hard to get into another MMO because most MMOs require people to help you. And so jumping in alone means you have to deal with strangers. So I do know MMO communities tend to silo themselves, and they keep you in there because it's hard to convince your guild of 20 people, let's all jump to this game. I don't think that people who have a smartphone and the only game they play on it is Pokemon Go, I don't think that's a huge amount of people. I think of Pokemon players, period, there are probably people who only play Pokemon Go. But I highly doubt that Pokemon Go is their only game. It may be their only Pokemon game. But that doesn't mean that they don't have other things that, like Gardenscapes, that takes up their time too.
I don't know, Karen pulling up her minivan in the like fire lane with 2 iPads and 3 iPhones. I don't think she's playing anything else.
Yeah, that's one person out of the 100 people around who aren't. That's 1%.
I don't know, Greg. I think you might be surprised by this because it's just like the fact that I can specifically name several people where it's like literally Pokemon Go is their thing.
Yeah, but that's confirmation bias.
Well, yeah, except I
can't
we do that for any other game. I honestly can't.
I can do that for a ton of other games. If you look at whale percentage, so 5% of people roughly are whales. So like if you're a whale, this is probably your only game, and that's 5% of players. I would say we could bump it up to 10% of people to say there are another 5% who are casual players of Pokemon Go who only play Pokemon Go. But that's still 10% of your player base. But that 5% is paying a lot of money and want those events, so you're going to put those events out.
Yeah, there's like a balance though. Like you put out the event to make money, but you also put out the event to keep your players engaged and to like keep them happy and to get like create these experiences, right?
Oh yeah.
You don't see a band. You don't go see Lady Gaga because like you're getting something exclusive. Well, you're getting an experience, but you're not getting. You might, I guess, maybe you hear like a song earlier or whatever, right? But like you can play her CD. Oh gosh, CD. You play her cassette tape. You can play her CD as often as you want, right? You bought it. Mm-hmm. It's good to go. You can listen to it nonstop. You're good to go. But you're not getting. You're getting something. The only thing you're getting extra for seeing Lady Gaga, for whether you pay $20 or $200, I don't know how much a Lady Gaga ticket is. I'm sure it's on the $200 end. You're paying for like that experience. And I feel like with these Pokemon Go events, people just go $8 for Mr. Mime, $12 for Mew, $8 for Genesect. And it's like, I guess you could do that to concerts or you could do that to movies, but no one really... It's because there's a Pokemon tied to it that they suddenly have to put a price to it.
And that's their marketing, though, right? Like they have tied these things to things that cost money. That is also part of how this model works, is they keep tying things to money. They keep tying things behind a price. And yes, they're giving you other things, but the company itself has already made that connection for you. So I can't fault people for looking at it and saying this is behind a price, because it is behind a price. And their selling point isn't you get 3 da-da-da-da-da. They aren't saying get all of these items plus a bonus Mr. Mime. They are starting with get Mr. Mime for $7.99 plus.
Well, at a concert, you go like
things down.
This is Lady Gaga, and then you say like who opens for her. You don't go like,
yeah, but unless you are following Lady Gaga around, you're seeing that concert once a year.
I mean, I followed Western bands around.
Not. It's not like Lady Gaga shows up in my town every other weekend and says, I got another thing for you. It's 8 hours of me, and I'm going to charge you this much money. It's once a year, and still, I think it's like only 35% of people go to actual concerts.
Yeah. I think the real test here is if Niantic would do an event that is a paid event where there is no you don't get a Pokemon or you don't get items, and it's just like, do this scavenger hunt for fun in Pokemon Go. You can only do this scavenger hunt in Pokemon Go, but you don't get anything out of it.
Well,
and then see how many people take them up in that.
Yeah, I mean, they do consistently free events.
Yeah, but not free events. A paid event. A paid experience that doesn't have a Pokemon reward at the end.
That is an experience, exactly.
They have never done that.
Yeah. I mean, you going to a Go Fest or you doing the Regigigas event, like, you got it early, but no one cares.
Yeah. And I think that's also part of the problem, is you also understanding that Mr. Mime will be released at some point in the future, and there's nothing particularly special about this one,
right?
Unless you like those bragging
So you should be paying for it, not because you want Mr. Mime early, but you should be paying for it because you want something to do on a Saturday.
Yeah, which...
Exactly, you want to have an experience. You want something to do.
And experience-based things right now are a hard sell.
We can just keep bringing up COVID, but like these events are going to exist outside of COVID.
Well, the question is should they? I mean, that is a fundamental question.
These have existed before. Like, the $7.99 has existed twice already. It has existed for Gigas and Genesect.
But the question is, if what you want to sell is an experience, and you are in a time where that experience is deeply diminished for huge swaths of the world, is that something that should still be happening? Or are a lot of people going to look at it and say, well, I'm not actually getting the experience anymore. I am only getting this Pokemon. Because the experience is off the table. The experience is gone. If this was 2019, great. A ton of people would be happy about it. But the experience part has been removed. It is not a value add, just like all of the other things aren't a value add.
I think if there was no COVID right now, we'd still be having the same conversation about this event.
I think we'd be having a very different conversation.
No, it would be the same.
Event.
It would be people comparing this event to Genesect and Regigigas, which is what I'm trying to do. Like Regigigas was $8. That's a legendary Pokemon. Genesect was $8. That was a mythical Pokemon. Both those events existed pre-COVID, and now people are not complaining that this is a $7.99 event during COVID. People are complaining that this is a $7.99 event for ultimately a common Pokemon in Sword and Shield.
I mean, that's the thing. Is the argument here is that Pokemon Go players don't care about the experience. They care about some artificially limited supply digital item that will not be in limited supply in 6 months.
But I also think because they are making that argument doesn't mean that this current existence that we have isn't part of the underlying experience. Like, simply because they are saying, oh, it's just for this regular Pokemon, doesn't mean that feeding into those feelings is everything else that's going on. Like, just say that they are separate and that they aren't considering the fact that they can't have the experience as part, like, because they don't bring that up in the actual argument, doesn't mean that isn't a factor.
Sure.
Like,
I just don't think, like, making... If this Mr. Mime event was $4.99 or $3.99, I feel like so we did a poll, 1,000 people took it, 75% of people said they were not interested in this event. I don't think making the event cheaper. There's two situations. Do you make the event cheaper? I still think the same amount of people would probably say no.
I disagree.
And if there was no COVID, I still think close to the same amount of people would still say no.
I absolutely disagree on both of those points.
Do you know how many people said no for the Regigigas event? And that was for a brand new legendary Pokemon. It was like 65 when we did the poll there that were not interested in Regigigas.
Yeah, but an informal poll, like, there's no control there. Like, we can't consider...
1,000 people from our audience that specifically like Pokemon? I think those are two fair polls to run. It wasn't like we surveyed 10 people. I think 1,000 people is pretty good.
You don't have control over the 1,000 people that took that. Like, you can't say that they're fans of Pokemon. You have no control over the validity of that poll. We can say that there's some parallels, but we can't absolutely say, oh, this poll says this and this poll says this, because we didn't have any control over the people who took it. We didn't have any control over whether they were the same people at all. They weren't even during the same time frame. Like, you can say, from these generals, I think they would be different. I disagree. But we can't use the poll as scientific
but you say you
proof.
disagree. I have a poll. You don't. What is your data? Like, what more do you want from me? Like, we're comparing two $8 events. One was in COVID. One was not in COVID. One has a legendary Pokemon. One has a Mr. Mime. Like, I don't think that people would suddenly be happy with the Mr. Mime event if there was no COVID. Like, you could maybe make the argument, maybe most of the world would be happy if it wasn't in the middle of December and instead it was in July, where it was, like, way nicer out for most of the world.
Well,
like, there are so many variables in play.
There's half the world that's in a different seasonal situation, so.
Yeah, but they never get that cold down there.
True.
So you are correct, and there are tons of variables to control. But I think the core argument here, where you saw it on Discord, we saw it on Slack. Again, these are limited things because it's what we see.
Yep.
You can go to Reddit, you can go to Twitter. Like, no one is being like, man, this event would be so cool if there wasn't a global pandemic. No one is saying that. People are saying this sucks because it's Mr. Mime, and it's not a mythical, and it's not a legendary.
But you can get Mr. Rhyme too.
Yeah, I mean that's all of Pokemon Go in a nutshell. You just wait. That's what we've been saying for years. You just wait, and the things will eventually come. I think the whole point of this conversation is ultimately something like this worth $8 if you're not attaching a sought, like a Pokemon that would, I guess, be considered sought after. Even going back, like, even comparing this again to the Genesect and to the Regigigas, like, Regigigas is a bad Pokemon. No one uses it for raids. You can't put it in a gym to defend. Same for Genesect. There's nothing fantastic. Like, you don't even get some sort of competitive edge with Genesect. Maybe like some person is out there using it in like master rank PvP or something. I don't think so though. So like there's no competitive edge. You're getting it early. You're getting items with it. You're getting the experience. You're getting the storyline. But people are specifically unhappy because it is what we all consider a pretty common Pokemon. But if you disagree with that, that's fine. That's just... I think Mr. Mime is the problem. I don't think it's COVID.
I think it's all feeding into the same thing. But yeah, Mr. Mime's not helping the situation by any means.
That's a way to put it.
And I don't know if price matters that much. And the only thing I could think of is like when you go to a movie theater,
which nobody's doing.
Like all the movies are the same price. Whether the movie got like a 2 out of 10 from your favorite critic or the movie got a 10 out of 10 from your favorite critic, like the movies are all the same price.
That's true.
Yeah. And
so what I'm saying is Mr. Mime is the bad movie. Do you still want to go to the movie with your friends this weekend for
like, do you know how many times I've said I don't want to go to that movie because that's a bad movie?
No, I mean, I agree with you.
I mean...
Do you know how many times I've specifically gone to movies because they're bad movies?
I mean,
Many.
I've gone to some bad movies because I know that they're super bad, and that's enjoyable for a completely different thing. But again, that's an experience.
Yeah. I mean, a bad movie can be good if the theater's empty and you're there with friends.
Right. Again... a mitigating factor to this very event as well.
For future events, because this will not be the only $7.99 event.
Here's the thing. The event is for whales, right? Like,
I don't think that's true.
They are still looking at the people who pay them the most amount of money.
I don't think these events are for whales. I like my sister is not a whale. My sister has probably spent $20 in Pokemon Go, but anytime these events show up, she considers it because it is a weekend thing that she can do with her kids.
And she's doing it for the experience,
but she's doing
not
it for the
Pokemon.
experience, for the Pokemon.
Correct, but you can still pay for an experience and have a bad time. You can still pay $60 to go to Six Flags and be like, "Wow, I only rode 3 things. The cotton candy was bad. The bathroom wasn't clean." Like, you can still pay for a bad time.
And you may never do that experience again, right? Like, if somebody says, "Oh, let's go to Six Flags and pay $60," and the last time you went was miserable, you're probably going to say, "No, I don't want to do that. I don't want to pay that much money for another bad experience." And to go to your poll, we had people who had a questionable experience for Regigigas and who are looking at this saying, well, the last one wasn't that great. Why should I pay that much money to not have a great time when I already know the experience is going to be limited because of the time that we're in?
So I take it you're not buying the ticket.
I am not buying the ticket, no.
I probably will.
I have a lot to do that weekend.
I bought the Regigigas ticket. Still haven't finished that research.
I didn't buy the Regigigas, and I'm not buying this one.
Did you buy Genesect?
Nope.
All right, Will, Pokemon of the Week.
I was not ready. Okay, here we go. Last week's Pokemon. Was waiting for that question of the week. Was complaining about how I've done too many Pokemon of the Week, and I'm running out of Pokemon of the Week to do. And something about how unique a Pokemon may or may not be. But this week's Pokemon, or last week's Pokemon that I picked, I wasn't attracted by the fact that it can evolve into 2 Pokemon simultaneously, but that its main evolution, which is Bug Ground, evolves into something that's the opposite, which is Bug Flying. And the Pokemon that it evolves into do not inherit either of its possible abilities. They're both get unique abilities on their own. And also, it's not slacking. So, who's that Pokemon?
It's...
Chatot.
It's Nincada.
Flygon?
Chatot doesn't evolve. So did you say Flygon? I still don't understand. What is it? It's like Shelgon, Bagon, Salamence.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
What? Why not Shelgon, Bagon, Flygon?
Because they're...
Come on, dudes.
Somebody messed up.
Because changes were made. So...
what was it? Nincada? It was Salamence.
Nincada.
That was your Pokemon of the week?
Yes. Because it evolves into 2 Pokemon simultaneously, Ninjask and Shedinja.
Yep. And it's a combination. The name is a combination of Ninja and Cicada.
Oh, that's Shedinja.
Oh, boy.
Nincada,
Yeah.
yes. But Nincada is the trainee Pokemon, or so. It's got like a weird name there.
It is the trainee Pokemon. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Why?
Because it's training to become a ninja.
Oh, that makes sense.
It's a bad Pokemon.
Wait, what's bad about it? It's cute as heck.
It's no Spinarak.
If you had a shiny Shedinja, you'd be saying that.
You wouldn't even be able to tell.
I am lukewarm on its shuffle icon.
Wow, that's a first. Boy, Nincada's failing left and right.
Yeah. I mean, it appeared in Mystery Dungeon at one point. It also appeared in Ruby and Sapphire Pinball.
Good old Ruby and Sapphire Pinball.
Its Troze icon is way better than the Shuffle.
It is.
That's weird because usually they share an icon, don't they?
They're similar, but like they changed the coloring. It's just not a fan.
All right, Pokemon of this week. Now everyone's going to suffer because I've been up since 5 o'clock in the morning, and since we started recording at 11, and I couldn't exercise, I had all this time to write Pokemon of the week. So here you go. It should come as no surprise to anyone that I am confused most of the time. Let's get this started by saying my inspirations this week. I have been watching the Korean drama Startup on Netflix. There is a scene where the self-driving car mysteriously stops, and in the end, they realize that their software will prevent roadkill. Number 2. Because I have fallen back into the world of K-dramas, my last foray was about a decade ago, I am also enjoying some K-pop, particularly Lim Kim's single, AWOO. That's spelled A-W-O-O. Number 3. One of the most popular Korean restaurants in the D.C. area, which is a chain with locations in Maryland, Virginia, and Georgia, is Iron Age Korean Steakhouse. By the way, my mom makes the best galbi in the world. Either way, there is a Pokemon out there that has, as of December 13th, 2020, 3 forms, potentially 4 forms if you count Gigantamax as a different form. When contemplating this, I was quite taken by surprise, given that Pikachu only has 1 form. Maybe they are less willing to tamper with a proven success. So here we are in Galar, which is clearly based on the Korean peninsula. This Pokemon has a Galarian form, clearly, but that is not the form that Gigantamax is. Only the original Cantonian form can Gigantamax. Is this making any kind of logical consistency? Okay, 2 of the 3 forms can evolve technically into the same Pokemon, different forms again, while the 3rd form evolves into, well, not that Pokemon at all anymore. Most of the time, this Pokemon evolves at level 28, except in Alola, where the Alolan form evolves with high friendship, unless the Alolan form is in Kanto, Let's Go Games, where it does evolve at level 28. But, if I have now confused you sufficiently, the Pokemon this week is the Steely Spirit Pokemon the aforementioned Pokemon evolves into that only has 1 form. There you go.
Okay. How many more episodes we got this year? 2 more episodes this year.
Yep.
Before it's done. All right. Well, we will be back next week. If you want to keep up to date on socials, PKMNcast on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter. Probably forgetting something. Reddit is r/super effective. Will is at Washing the Sink on Twitter. Greg is at White Wing on Twitter. We'll be streaming pretty much every day this week on Twitch. And we are still trying to get our YouTube up there. So youtube.com/PKMNcast. I think we, as this episode goes up, we hit 8,000 on YouTube. So thank you everyone who jumped over there. Otherwise, thanks for listening. This has been another episode of the Pokemon Podcast, and we are
super effective.
Super French was that one. Mais oui, c'est vrai, effectif.
I just try to put the emphasis on a different syllable each week.
The emphasis is on the wrong syllable.
This podcast is supported by our Patreon supporters, people that give us money. Our producers of the show are Kevin, Casey, Patrick, Jetsy, Matthew, Kay, Catherine, Steph, Brian, and Courtney. And our executive producers are Spencer and Anthony. Thank you, everyone who listens to the podcast, and thank you, everyone who takes the extra mile to support us over on Patreon. We did, as of this month, update our Patreon address, so it is now patreon.com/PKMNcast. Same as the Twitter, the Twitch, the YouTube, the Instagram, everything is all universal now. It is the same. So if you're listening to an older episode where we say that, it's wrong now. And of course the isc.cash up and working, redirecting to that new domain. Thank you again. If you want to support the show, you can head over to isc.cash or patreon.com/PKMNcast, PKMNcast. And I appreciate you guys listening, appreciate the support, and we will see you next week.